With our budgets being squeezed, money expert Martin Lewis tries to boost one family's income.
With 3,000 overspend, it would be very nice to get this to a 3,000 underspend.
Over the next 3 weeks, the money expert Martin Lewis will be spending time with 3 generations of the same family. His mission? To magic up some extra cash. It's a family day out, but on a budget. Like many people, this lot have been hit by the recession. Anne-Marie Merriman, who gave up work 2 years ago to be a full-time mum, and her husband Graham are struggling because Graham's income has dropped by more than 30% since the downturn.
The recession has affected us massively. We're a one-income family. I work in recruitment. It's very sales-orientated, so again, the recession has affected recruitment, so everything that we've done has been to a very tight budget.
We don't have that extra cash to do the nice things that we'd like to do, and we just live day to day and do the mundane things and try and save money where we can.
Savers are among the hardest hit by the recession. Gloria and Colin are Anne-Marie's parents. He's a retired architect and she's a retired teacher. And as pensioners, they're worried about the funds for their retirement because their savings and investments have dropped by nearly £40,000.
Money we had in ISAs seemed to have plummeted. Things like HBOS shares that we had have just disappeared. We must have lost about 17,000, 18,000 on those.
We're hoping now at our stage of life to be able to enjoy ourselves a bit more and have holidays and things.
Their son William, an engineer, and his sister Christina, a teacher, are desperate to buy a house and move out of their parents' home in Luton. But they've got more than £30,000 in student debt between them, and the interest they're paying on it looks set to rise with inflation to around 4% this autumn.
I've got this huge debt, but I want to get on the housing market. I want to get somewhere. I want to get on with my life.
I think probably I don't save as much as I should do. I should probably save a bit more and then I can get on the housing ladder sooner.
Well done! We're kind of stuck at the moment with the folks.
Today they're enjoying themselves, but like many families, problems are mounting. They're already struggling to make ends meet, and the budget could cost Anne-Marie and Graham alone an extra £1,200 a year. They need some help with their personal finances. And here's a man for the job. Martin Lewis is a money-saving specialist, and he's on his way to meet our family. He's been advising the nation for years on the basic rules of managing the household books.
It's really quite simple. Step 1, do a proper budget. Work out what's coming in, what's going out. Step 2, look at everything you spend money on to see if you could get the same for less. And then once you've done that, step 3, well, if you're still overspending, you have to start cutting back and changing your lifestyle.
The family is meeting up at Anne-Marie's home in Redhill to complete a budget planner of their income and expenditure over an entire year.
About this phone bill here.
I know.
That's your fault, then.
That was a naughty phone bill, that was.
I'm having to look at figures that I don't normally take too much interest in.
Once completed, the budget planner will reveal any deficit in the family's finances.
I always say, let your finances drive what you do. Find out what your finances are first and then live your life by how much money you've got.
Martin arrives in time to find out whether their income matches their spending.
Anne-Marie, I'm Martin.
Pleased to meet you.
Hello. Let me grab that. Thank you very much.
Everybody's through here.
How's it going? You're budget planning, are you?
Yeah, fun, making us work.
What's the most shocking thing so far?
Nappies and haircuts.
Really?
Obviously not me.
I found it difficult to list my spending because I don't really keep track of it. But I think
Martin wants to show the family how even the small daily costs add up.
£2.50 cappuccino every day that you go to work, how much does it cost a year?
Loads.
No idea. £625 a year. What you could say is, would I prefer to have a cup of coffee every day from the coffee shop, or would I prefer to have that £625 to go towards a better holiday? It's not for me to tell you what to do with your money, it's for me to try and enable you to get the most utility that you can out of your cash.
So, are the family overspending? Can Martin help them boost their income? We'll find out later in the programme.
So if going it alone seems like a tall order and the squeeze on pay is putting your budget under pressure, is there any way to boost your income? Let's find out what answers Martin Lewis has come up with for our family.
In Redhill, Martin Lewis has been putting our family through the financial ringer, crunching the numbers on their income and expenditure. What will the results show? Graham's income has dropped by a third, from £75,000 a year to £50,000. So are he and Anne-Marie living beyond their means?
Do you spend more than you earn? Shall we find out?
Ready?
Yeah.
OK, let's do it.
That's not too bad.
That's all way. It's not good, though, because it's £3,000.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that, actually.
It may be less of an overspend than Anne-Marie had feared, but it's not acceptable to Martin.
It would be very nice to get this to a 3,000 underspend. It's going to be difficult. It's a £6,000 a year turnaround, and that's pretty hardcore.
So, how will Martin deal with that overspend? Step 1, boosting income. Anne-Marie doesn't work, so Martin's taking her and Graham back to school for his ideas on how they can bring in more money.
You're a teacher, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I used to teach reception children.
Now, a reception teacher probably earns, what, about £25,000 a year? It's somewhere in that ilk. The childcare costs are the problem, though, because obviously if you're at work, who's looking after the kids? Yeah. You're probably looking at, if you came back to work full-time, you might be, after tax, £6,000, £7,000 a year better off.
You know, what I know of teaching and how much time it takes to run a reception class, I don't know whether it's worth the quality of life that we'd have as a family, knowing that I'd only earn an extra £6,000 a year. That doesn't sit very well with me.
If going back to school to work isn't an option, Martin has other tips for earning cash.
A little list I made in my pocket of other things you could do to boost your income relatively easily. Just quick ones, snap. Right, you ready? Yeah. I'm going to give me a score out of 10 for the concept of doing each of these. Get a cashback credit card, set up a direct debit to pay it off in full at the end of the month so there's no interest, so that every time you spend you get up to 5% back in cash.
9.
Right, doing that. You're going to set that up when we finish it. Going through the house, anything that you don't use, selling it on eBay or Amazon.
9.
Have you done it?
No.
I want you doing that one as well. There is a Rent Your Driveway website which brings people together to give parking. Score?
10.
You could rent out your car as well, I should let you know. If you're not using your car, let you rent your car out to other people. You get really good rates for that. Putting your house as a set for filming locations.
Oh, I'd like that one. That would get an 11.
That would get an 11, you do that. Online market research. Doing surveys when you've got a spare hour online and being paid for it. You know, people make about 250 quid a year if they're really quite dedicated, so it's not big money. Comping for cash. Entering hundreds of competitions.
Oh, I do that, actually.
How professionally do you do it?
Not.
No, not
OK. It's still a random chance, but there are people who do pretty well out of doing web forms and comping for cash. Let's see what I've got else on here. You know, you could set up an ironing service.
I don't
you could
iron.
Apply... Oh, OK. Do you?
No.
All right. You could do party planning. Lots of people enjoy doing party planning, bringing people around. You could be a TV extra. There's loads of things out there. A little bit of creative imagination. We're not talking big bucks. Work pays better than anything else. But if you don't, you may be able to bring in a few hundred quid extra by some of those. Interesting?
Exciting.
Check them out before next time.
Thank you.
Martin will focus on the financial worries facing the other family members, such as debt and savings, in the coming weeks.
You're going to have a think about work and those other boost your income tactics that we discussed about.
And Anne-Marie and Graham will try to boost their income, but to achieve real gains, they'll have to make cutbacks. And that's what Martin will tackle in next week's Money Watch.
Bye.
Bye.
And for all Martin's tips and a lot more besides, you can go to the Money Watch website, bbc.co.uk/moneywatch.